Hello and welcome to BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. It's Friday Night Lights and it is mid-table madness here at Kingston Park. We're back up here for the second time in a couple of weeks for what promises to be a thrilling fixture as Northumbria University host Loughborough students. One of these teams is really struggling for form. The other has won 3 out of 4, but they are level on points, 21 apiece, and the winner can really put some pressure on that top 5 as well. Counting down to kick-off for about 15 minutes away, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome Matt Solway. You're all track-suited up this evening, but you're not featuring. Great to have you here.
Happy to be here, definitely.
So, well, quite bluntly, why aren't you playing this evening?
I've ruptured my ACL, so I did that about 4 months ago. Had my operation 3 months ago now, so I've got 6 more months and I'm back playing.
Well, this gives you an opportunity to have a budding media career. Great to have you.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the atmosphere in the Northumbria camp. Obviously, you're still involved. You've been on the wrong side of the results for a couple of weeks now, but spirits still seem pretty good in the camp.
Yeah, definitely. We're not going to get heads down. I think the last few weeks have been quite hard, but we'll bounce back from it, I think. I think tonight will be a big game for us. Both of us sitting 7th and 8th in the table, drawing on points. We'll look to target this game massively.
Now, I've driven north today and it has been hammering down with rain throughout England, but looking up at these skies, at the moment it's still and it's dry. This will suit both teams, particularly your lot with the attacking rugby you love to play from the back. Yeah,
definitely. We've got some good backs out tonight. We're missing Josh Hodge, who's with England 20s tonight. But we've got other players who definitely step up to the mark.
Well, let's have a chat about Josh Hodge. In fact, we spent a lot of time talking about him. It must be frustrating for everyone else, but a massive achievement for him to be in that England setup. Yeah,
massively. I know he's really happy with it himself. He'll be looking to push on for a starting spot, I expect. Definitely.
Well, yeah, but what that does mean is there's an opportunity for someone else to fill his role. We've got plenty of time to chat. Let's have a look at the league table. It doesn't make particularly pretty reading for either of these teams. Exeter, though, after a brilliant win in the week, they currently sit at the top, 35 points. Then Hartpury and Cardiff Met level on 31. As you rightfully pointed out, Loughborough and Northumbria are all square on 21 points. And a massive opportunity this evening for one of those teams to put a bit of daylight between them and the bottom half of the table for the students who are watching the game this evening. So check out this video to see what they're all about.
Because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago actually when it first came to the island.
I really liked how simple it was to use.
The kind of convenience we want in this modern age that we live in.
You don't really want to carry your passport around all night now, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age and quite versatile as well.
Thank you once again to Yoti for their continued support of BUCS Super Rugby. Now, as I mentioned just before the break, the conditions here at the moment, they're about as perfect as they get as Kingston Park. However, 20 minutes ago, it was absolutely lashing down. While the conditions are like this, I think both teams will look to make hay.
Yeah, definitely. With a like this, we'd be fine for our backs. If it gets a bit wetter, we'll just have to take it to the forwards, make it a bit of a tighter game. But again, we're happy with whatever happens.
Is that something, I mean, obviously you're quite an up-front forward yourself, but is that something that Northumbria are prepared to do, to make it that really gritty, physical battle?
We're happy to do whatever it takes. We just play our game. You know, we take in our stride. You know, whatever teams bring, we'll just stick to our structure and stick to our game.
Well, a huge part of the style and the success here, of course, is the coaching of Daz Fern. In fact, he's just behind us, putting the players through their final paces at the moment. What's he like to play under from a young player's perspective?
He's great, really. He's probably the best coach I've had, definitely. He gets the best out of his players. He doesn't demand things. We work because we want to work for him. He doesn't force it or give us a big telling off. We don't need that. He's just good.
Well, he's a huge advocate of the way that they play, and it's great to have people like Daz Fern on board. You never know, we might get to catch up with him after the match. However, before kick-off, I caught up with Nathan Smith, Loughborough's head coach. Well, Nathan, 3 wins in the last 4 in BUCS Super Rugby. Do you think it'd be fair to say that Loughborough have turned the corner?
Yeah, I think we've played some good stuff. I think we've also had a bit of luck, which you need when you want to go on a bit of a winning run. So hopefully tonight we won't need it and we'll just do the job.
Well, you say a bit of luck. It was, 1 point against Cardiff Met where they hit the post conversion and a drop goal the other side. But earlier in the season, those 50-50s didn't seem to go your way. As much as it is luck, the players deserve a lot of credit too.
Yeah, exactly. Like Cardiff Met last week, they missed the conversion to win the game. But it was our defensive efforts that pushed them to score on an edge, you know, and it's that sort of determination from the team that's come through to get the couple of wins.
Looking towards tonight, you're missing a few players. Huge credit to them first for getting that England Sevens call up. Obviously you'll miss them, but a massive achievement for those lads.
Yeah, it's great, and that's just part of the programme. That's what we aim to do, is push people on in their rugby careers. So Walshy and Ferguson have done really well to play for the England Sevens, and we're really proud to that they're representing Loughborough. So it's just good for the programme, and shows what you can achieve if you do decide to study at Loughborough.
And of course what that does mean is opportunities, particularly in the midfield, for some new Loughborough names to make, well, names for themselves.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we use the BUCS, the BSR programme for. Just keep developing players and making sure that we've got that constant conveyor belt of players that are able to play this standard and then kick on and look to play the National League stuff.
We're looking forward to tonight. Both yourselves and Northumbria have been involved in a huge amount of close fixtures. What are you expecting from the match?
Well, it's just typical BSR. It's just all over the place, fast. Obviously with a 4G pitch, it helps us, it helps them, so it's going to be interesting how that works out, you know. It's fabulous that the guys get to play in such a stadium like this, you know, and hopefully, you know, they rise to the occasion. That's what I'm hoping more than anything.
Well, speaking of the stadium, it is still and dry at the moment, but 5 minutes ago it was blowing a gale and absolutely hammering it down. It's going to be a real big challenge for those core skills tonight.
Yes, it will be, especially with the 4G pitch. I feel the whole water a bit more, so the ball's a bit wetter, so it'd be interesting to see how the first 10 or 15 minutes goes, definitely.
And after that tough start to the season, if you do get a win tonight, you're just 1 point away from that top 5. There's plenty of targets for these boys to work towards.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like Loughborough is a club renowned for having a better second half of the year. And that's in National League, that's in BSR. So we're just looking every game just to kick on, and just been really impressed by the development of the players all the way through the year, and sort of they've just worked hard to get to where they are now. So, you know, I've been impressed.
Cheers, Nathan. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks very much. Cheers.
Counting down to kick-off here, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. It is round 9 at Kingston Park, Northumbria University against Loughborough students. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. Both of these teams level on 21 points. A Northumbria lineup as follows: George Williams, Joseph Lashley and Isaac Brace in the front row. Brace wearing 18-03. Bloodworth and Bordil at 4 and 5. Rafai, Fantini and Robinson in the back row. At half-backs, James Elliott is at scrum half. Joshua Bragman outside him. And then Charlie Parkhouse on the left wing. Wakakoki on the right. Galbraith and Lewisburg in the centres. And Rory Howarth at 15. Another exciting lineup. Welcome to the commentary box, Mark Solway. What are your thoughts on that starting 15 for your team?
It's a strong team, definitely. We had our prop team Ross drop out last minute. We're just going to try save him for Cardiff Met next week. We want to get him injured. But Isaac will definitely step up, I reckon.
A lot of excitement in the back line. There have been a few experiments there. Wakakoki moving up to 10, Bragman to 15, but that is a little bit more structured. Players back in their host positions, if you like. Perhaps a little bit more fluidity expected this evening?
Yeah, I think boys will be a lot happier playing in their usual positions, especially with Bragman back at 10 and Waka back on the wing. I think they're both suited to their positions now.
And of course, Josh Hodge has been the talk of the league, not just from a open play perspective, but kicking from the tee as well. Huge congratulations for him, involved with the England under-20s. But do you think that backline misses him this evening?
No, not at all. I think Rory Howarth will definitely step up to the mark. He's just equally as good. They both offer different things, but should be fine tonight.
That is the Northumbria 15. Let's take a look at the visitors. Loughborough students, 3 wins out of the last 4. The last 2 weeks have been very tight, and they line up with Jared Leet at 1, Jamie Harding at 2, Sam Graham-Slaw at 3. So a slightly changed front row. Jared Leet was man of the match when we brought BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti to Loughborough as they face Trent in that massive win. Archie McPherson again is up from the back row to the second row, and he's accompanied by Adrian van der Plug. Sam Ripper-Smith is at 6 this week, Austin Wallace at 7, and Max Hill stays at number 8. Will Findlay captains the team from scrum half. Josh Lewis outside him at 10. Aaron Tate on the left wing. A brand new centre partnership, Brad Pinkham and James Spencer, who moves up from full-back. Tajuata of Wasps is on the right wing, and Sam Roberts is at 15 for Loughborough students. Let's take a look at the benches for both teams then. The finishers, starting with Northumbria: Newstead, Warburton, McQueen, Harrison, Brown, Pickering, Gittins and Titherington for Northumbria. A few number changes there that I'll keep you up to date with as the match progresses. For Loughborough, Stephen Younghusband, Sam Garvey, Osmond Demon, Cuthbert, Kilgallen, Lane, Choules and Stoddard are from 16 to 23. Well, it's been an up and down season for Northumbria so far, of course, starting with that fantastic win up here against Hartpury, 38-35, then a loss to Exeter. Looking at those results, Exeter are the only team that Northumbria really seem to have struggled against. Everything else has been a fantastic contest.
Yeah, I think we've had a good season so far. It's not been the best for us, but we'll definitely try and push on with games like this. We've got some more games coming up closer to home for us, so we'll have to travel across the country.
There is some serious travelling in this league, that's for sure. It's taken Loughborough nearly 6 hours to get here on the coach, but of course that pales in insignificance compared to Exeter's trip last time. Looking at that most recent result, of course, it was Cardiff's debut victory in BUCS Super Rugby. Was that a particularly difficult one for Northumbria to take?
No, again, we're just taking our stride. You know, it's just BUCS Rugby, isn't it? Whoever turns up on the day will just win the game. We clearly didn't bring our A game when they did.
As simple as that. So Cardiff off the mark and Northumbria looking for their first win in 3. As for Loughborough students, it's been a real building process. They started the season with that 17-all draw against Exeter under the lights on the football pitch. Then it was defeat to Cardiff Met, defeat to Hartpury before a stunning win against Nottingham Trent that was backed up by another substandard performance to Durham. And then back-to-back victories against Leeds Beckett and Cardiff Met. Some very impressive wins there, but what stands out for me is they're yet to get a win away from home this season. Travelling all this way north, that's going to be a factor.
So we can keep it that way, I guess. Don't want to win this one. We're banging out for the next position.
Partisan co-commentary there from Matt Solway, who's joining us throughout the evening. A small but not quite yet vocal crowd. And they've got a mixture of warm drinks and cold drinks there. It's pretty still out here, but it's a lot colder up north than it is down south, Matt, I'll tell you that.
Definitely.
A couple of interesting statistics. Both of these teams have had 5 matches this season decided by a converted try or less. And also, this fixture historically produces an unbelievable amount of points. They've met 14 times since 2011, and 10 of those 14 encounters have produced more than 50 points.
Should be a good day for rugby then. Exciting things to come. We've got good backlines out for both teams. Good weather at the moment, so hope it holds out.
Certainly have, and we had a brief shot of Josh Rudling there. Those regular followers of BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti will have heard him on co-commentary last time we were up here at Kingston Park. On a cold night like tonight, that's the kind of barnet you want, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't grow hair like that, but I can commentate better.
Oh, shots fired as we're counting down to kick-off here under the floodlights. Really is a fantastic scene. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. 4 fixtures already this week. This is Friday Night Lights. In fact, all your home fixtures are on a Friday night this year, correct?
Yes, they are, yeah. Other than Cardiff? No, they're all Fridays. Yeah.
That's it. All on Friday nights. These were the Wednesday night scores. Cardiff Met 28, Nottingham Trent 12. Cardiff Met back to winning ways. King Coyd is a very difficult place to go. And Nottingham Trent, very good at home, but struggling away for any kind of form. Durham 23, Cardiff University. Confident attacking start, though, from your team.
Yeah, it's a start we'd be looking for, definitely. Just need to try and keep the ball now. A few slip-ups, we'll get them out early doors, though. It's just some good poly rugby, that.
Well, as Nathan Smith pointed out ahead of kick-off, despite the fact that it is dry, these 4G pitches do carry a lot of water. So if the ball spends a lot of time on the ground, it will get greasy. And 2 minutes in, we've seen a couple of handling errors, one from either side.
Colin. Crouch!
James Elliott, starting at scrum half this season, has got a fantastic try in the loss against Exeter a couple of weeks ago.
Also fashioning a very nice moustache for November.
We're a bit far away, boys. Let's just side the gap.
Knocking about.
I quite like them personally. I couldn't grow it myself, but fair play for the boys.
Sam Grahamslaw stayed down. That's not a good sign. Fingers crossed it's just precautionary. I think the scrum is very important in this match this evening. I've watched Loughborough a few times, and when they've managed to get on top, when they pack down, they really have pushed on and done well in games. But when it's gone backwards, they've really struggled. And when Northumbria did come unstuck against Exeter a couple of weeks ago, then the set scrum was where it all started.
Yeah, we're definitely building on it. We work on it each week. We've different personnel coming in. It's hard to know what's going to happen.
Looking like quite a lengthy delay here. Our clock is still ticking. Remember, it's not tied into the referee's watch. Gives us a pretty good approximation. However, we've got the ref's mic. Keep an ear on it. He usually gives us some time updates. If the clock goes red and your team is winning, do not get too excited, because there's plenty of rugby left usually. And if there's one thing that BUCS Super Rugby is famous for, it is, well, famine and feast in the last minute. We've had some incredible team snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, including last season actually, Durham against Northumbria. Your team looked home and hosed before Chris Johnston scored 2 of the tries of the season to give the Palatinate the victory.
Yeah, it was pretty gutting to lose that way, but get us down to our own errors really. We tried to fix it, but it was too late in the game to bring it back for the boys.
In terms of rivalries in the league, obviously that's the local one. Are they sort of your main rivals in BUCS Super Rugby, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. The Durham game's huge for us. We don't really consider Newcastle University our masters anymore. We try to target Durham as much as possible. Things are the closest team to us, just 10 minutes down the road.
When you've got places like Bath and Hornsey and Exeter to drive to, it must be sweet relief. You've only got to go to Durham.
Yeah, it's a luxury. Any journey under 3 hours now we consider quite nice.
We're looking to put the squeeze on, but it's come out. And here come Northumbria again, dabbed into the 22, but that's a loose kick there from Charlie Parkhouse. Good thinking, but couldn't quite execute it. But he is sharp on that wing, Parkhouse. He's always looking for a little bit of dynamism.
Yeah, that one, guys.
He's definitely a danger man. He's one to watch. In training, he's got electric feet, and he can really finish a try.
In fact, it was his assist for that fantastic James Elliott try.
Yeah, of course you can.
Joe Burns described it as like trying to tackle a ghost.
It's not the easiest, I'll tell you that.
Max Hill gathers at the back of the lineup. 4 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti.
Stay there. Down. Out, black, out, black.
Good drive here from Loughborough in between the 10 metre and the halfway line. That's 10 metres made. Reset, goes forward again. Here comes the advantage.
Leave him alone. You've won the penalty.
A little warning there for Jamie Harding as he tries to get into the Northumbria players. Referee deciding that a warning as opposed to a reversal is the right call. Promising signs for Loughborough there. Worrying ones for Northumbria.
Six, guys.
And of course, off the back of that, Josh Lewis kicks for touch, and who's to bet that they won't do exactly the same thing again. Jamie Harding found his man Max Hill. Sam Graham-Slaw still on the pitch. Not as clean this time. And has that been turned over? Not quite. Oh, what a response from Northumbria. That's exactly what you need.
Great work, Colin Robinson. He'll be happy with that one. Gets confidence up, returning from injury, so he needs all the help he can get.
I think there's more tape than skin on his left leg. What was the injury?
I was just saw a dead IT band. Nothing too serious, I hope.
Just a good touch finder as well.
Just been a bit soft, probably.
Yeah, that's all right.
Austin Wallace in the side at 7 today.
Thank you.
Almost happened in slow motion there. Good work at Robinson. First turnover of the evening for him. Nice at brace there in the 18 jersey. Lifting well, and Northumbria secured their first ball of the match. As Lewis Berg into the 22 again for Northumbria. Multiple visits inside the first 6 minutes as George Williams crashes it forward. Somebody's lost a boot there to the left of the breakdown. And another penalty for Northumbria. Kickable, but instead they've gone quickly. Are they 10 metres? Yes, says the referee, but they're only a metre short here. Lovely work from James Elliott. And now it is on for the home team. Over the line. And awarded. Wonderful. Northumbria 5, Loughborough 0. The invention of James Elliott there. It was a kickable penalty. But instead he went quickly. Loughborough on the back foot. That one. And Northumbria take full advantage. Great start.
Just great rugby. It's the start we wanted to see. Hopefully today we'll see that Falaty performance. It's the strongest start we've had so far.
Well, we spoke about the importance of a strong start from Northumbria after slipping behind week after week. But aside from the scrum that went down, it has been picture perfect for the hosts, and they lead 7-0 after 7 minutes. Bragman with the conversion. Let's take another look at this.
Oh, 8. High tackle, number 2. No, it's still a high tackle.
Oh, was it Ollie Robinson? Carried it over. He still had a bit of work to do there. Had to negotiate the post.
Right.
Yeah, it's a strong finish from Ollie. You can see him looking at both sides there, scanning really well. It's a good finish against the odds.
Seem to have plenty of time. And they are back underway.
No tackle!
Again, Northumbria looking to run it out of their own 22. They only know one way. It's great to watch and so effective when it comes off. Parkhouse, though, runs into trouble. He's slowed down, as Bragman. On a loose pass now. Is there any pressure coming on? Tajuata doesn't continue with the chase, and Northumbria. It's like watching Fiji play sevens.
Move for!
Sometimes I despair watching Northumbria that there is no kick exit strategy, as Bragman puts the dummy on again, steps through a few. Is that crossing? No, says the referee. Max Hill has to make the tackle. Great footwork for a Big Ten. As Robinson frees the hands. Oh, that was gone forward this time. Ed Bloodworth took a bit of a knock there, just gets back to his feet quite gingerly. Fantastic offload there. His forwards doing it as well. George Bordill finding Bloodworth again. Tell you what, it must be lung-busting to play in this team.
Yeah, it's a quick service as well, which doesn't help. It's suited to our style of rugby, definitely. That's why our backs seem to carve it up so well.
Well, that Bloodworth has stayed down. Last time we were here, gets a pretty hefty strapping to the leg himself. There's still a little bit on that left knee. Hopefully that's not where the problem is. But it seems as though getting injured is the only chance to get a rest.
Seems it's been a fast-paced game so far. It's definitely started with one. Hopefully he'll be alright.
Still shy of 10 minutes. We have had a couple of injury delays. There's Josh Bragman, England students last season. Does look more comfortable at 10 than 15.
Yeah, definitely. I think the change in the position was to give him a wake-up call to some players. Seems one reaction. He was happy at full-back, but I feel changing his position where he's a lot more comfortable.
It's definitely James Elliott who's leading the charge with the moustache game, isn't it?
It's a strong touch.
Has he put mascara in it? Or is that the natural colour?
Couldn't tell you. I don't think it's other boys either.
The problem is setting that strand.
Guys, we're still too far away, okay? We're overreaching on the bind, okay? Come up. We need that platform, lads, come on. Come on. Seconds! Open up. Crouch! Bind! Set!
2, 1, 2, 3. It's nice to see Dave on the back row there, getting his first team debut tonight.
game to come into as well. This time it's Loughborough look to put the width on it, and Sam Roberts gets that one going backwards, but still manages to make some metres. That's the 10-metre line just in front of you as Northumbria concede another penalty.
Release that.
Yeah, it must be quite a big moment for the boys who make their debuts in BUCS Super Rugby.
Yeah, it's Dave's first start this week. He's had a really good season so far. I think Dad's rewarded him. He's got really good enthusiasm. He's a really athletic boy.
Sorry,
He'll definitely be a good player for the future.
Charlie Parkhouse, the guilty party there. Good kick
More
for touch
discipline,
by
Black.
Josh Lewis as well, into the 22.
5 man.
Second opportunity from this kind of position for Loughborough. The first, they fluffed their lines from the line out. John Harding found his man this time.
Maul!
Archie McPherson claims the ball, and here comes the drive. It's crude stuff from Loughborough.
It's still going forwards. Sideways
The referee
once.
still going forward. There is Jamie
7
Harding
out.
on the ball.
Ball's available.
Larry Fantini having a little snipe there and pulls out. Physical collision there from Isaac Brace as Josh Lewis has to go himself. He's being held up, needs to keep that moving, and it does come moving, and down it goes. 10 metres short for Loughborough, but Northumbria, massive effort inside their own 22.
Turnover.
2 questions asked by Loughborough, 2 questions answered by Northumbria, and great defensive composure.
Yeah, we'll be really happy with that, definitely.
Tackle.
It's again another really strong start for us, so we can see it off for us 80. Great work from Dave there, holding the player up. That's what we've been practicing training, so using his skills there.
Yeah, all right, we've all said, haven't we? That's all right. Okay, guys, let's close the gap and get that platform, okay?
Northumbria put in 10 metres from their own line. The referee being very clear with exactly what he wants from them.
Bind! Set!
It's been a good contest for the opening few scrums, and again it stands stock still. Spragman does put boot to ball this time. Good kick as well, up to the 10-metre line.
Purple line. Black edge of that one, Ollie.
England students last season, of course. Darren Fern, the head coach of England students this year as well.
I know, Will. Guys, open out, please. On the edge of the line.
And since the try, it's just calmed down a little bit.
Hey.
Team's looking to find a rhythm.
More! No, out, Black!
Line-out option.
That's good.
It's only a quarter of an hour.
Don't change. Use it once.
Great counter drive from Northumbria as well. Out of the back door and up the blind side. There goes Will Finley. Inside ball to Josh Lewis. Parkhouse has to make the tackle. Drives him out towards the touchline.
Options taken.
And they've gone quickly. Not the cleanest of strikes off the left boot. It is back with Loughborough. It's James Spencer.
No tackle.
Only half tackled. Strags his way towards the 22. Rafai thought he had hands on that then. He's looked good at the breakdown as Northumbria's number 6. Josh Lewis. Jared Leet.
Roll 12. Good.
Here's Lewis again. Come to the open side. Looks to try and free the hands, and he does. It's Archie McPherson for the corner, gets it down straight over the top of Charlie Parkhouse, and it's Northumbria 7, Loughborough 5.
Yeah, it's disappointing for the boys. I hope we get a reaction out of that. Still early days, so lots to play for.
Has it gone over the barrier?
Good response there from Loughborough. Composure inside the 22. Lovely work from Josh Lewis. Frees the hands, and Archie McPherson comfortable in the back row, in the second row, or on the wing. It's Northumbria 7, Loughborough 5. Josh Lewis. Difficult conversion for the right footer as Northumbria regroup under the sticks. 15 minutes gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. And this kick to level things for the visitors. Struck it well. Struck it really well, and we're all square. Good conversion there from Lewis. And he made this try as well. Bit of work to do there for McPherson, but when you're a second row, you're always going to try and go over the top of the winger, aren't you?
The direct route's always best, I feel.
Route 1 stuff. Charlie Parkhouse putting his body on the line, but unable to stop McPherson from scoring. There's Tajuata. First touch for him. He's had a quiet 15 minutes as the right winger. Quite a bit of time involved with Wasps this season. Max Hill takes that one. Excellent line speed there from Ashley to cut him off at source. That's Van der Pug, South African second rower. Oh, fantastic tackle, rushing out of the line. No! 100 mile an hour line speed here from Northumbria. Harding gets his head down. Finley calls in the blockers, but look at this. Northumbria causing absolute havoc, and they've turned it over. Rafai plays scrum half, so James Elliott can do some hot stepping in the middle of the park.
The ball's clearly available.
So lackadaisical at the breakdown there.
Yeah, I think we're quick to react to that one. It's definitely something we'll be targeting the breakdown for us and working hard on our defence to get the pressure on.
Seven.
It's definitely paid off.
Bloodworth with the carry there. Northumbria go up the narrow side to open up the width. Lashley again, trying to hold him up, but he does well to find the floor. Bragman. Lewis Berg.
Don't play the
over the gain line.
Reset quicker.
Howarth. Oh, spots the mismatch and gets around the flanker. Parkhouse for the corner, he's going to score. And it's vintage Northumbria. 12-7, and you give him a chance like that and they'll cut you to ribbons.
Dangerous player, that Parkhouse. Definitely one to watch.
Well, you can hardly call it a missed tackle for Loughborough's try, but he has made up for it with interest. All started with the turnover, but Rory Howard spotted that he was up against Sam Ripper-Smith, knew he had the legs on him, and that opened up the space for Charlie Parkhouse. Wonderful finish. Northumbria 12, Loughborough 7. Less than 20 minutes gone. And this looks a little bit more like the Northumbria that BUCS Super Rugby fans have become accustomed to watching.
Yeah, here's what we're hoping to get back to, really. We've had a hard few weeks, losing, I think, 2 games on the bounce now. So it's nice to get back to winning ways for us, hopefully.
Well, Northumbria haven't lost 3 games in a row since February of this year. Spent many weeks at the top of the tree. It's been a little bit more difficult this term. Such is the league itself, where anyone can beat everyone. But here's Josh Bragman. 1 conversion, 1 successful conversion so far. This to add the extras. Oh, he's drawn that in beautifully. Like a sweetly struck 7-iron. It's Northumbria 14, Loughborough 7.
Yeah,
this is where it started. You can see the frustration there from Will Findlay. Loughborough scrum half absolutely furious that had been turned over, but look how quickly Northumbria seized the initiative. Rory Howard draws Josh Lewis. Parkhouse pins his ears back. He has got some wheels. 14-7.
More!
And Loughborough with the response.
Good turnover from Loughborough there. Good reaction from our try.
Yeah, Max Hill's the man. Did the good work. It's exactly what you don't want, isn't it? You just score a fantastic try and straight away you make the error, gift the ball back.
Loughborough have always been good at that. They've always reacted well to pressure being placed on them, so fair play to their boys.
With everybody on the open side apart from Tajuata stayed on the right hand side. 2 defenders on the blind side.
Set
for Northumbria.
You've got to hook the ball too. You've got to hook the ball. No, you're number 2.
Oh, Jamie Harding trying to leave the ball in the scrum and win the penalty. Instead he gets pinged by the referee, and Charlie Parkhouse gets over the game line once again. Just deft little hands to make those extra metres. Lashley has carried well. There's Wakakoki. Oh, wonderful footwork, and can't quite make it stick for Bordill.
Guys, there's an option. It's knocked forward into touch.
But that in and out, so difficult to defend.
This is the quick food game we were trying to get for the past few weeks. We've worked on training quite a lot. He's back to old Polly ways. It's class and Waka.
And he stood Tajuata up then. Didn't lay a hand on him. Bordill on the wing. If that sticks, then he probably trots him from 40 metres.
You'd hope so. He's a quick boy, George. He's very athletic. He's good in the loose.
Five in the line, and that just about evades the Northumbria jumper. Again, they're very quick to get hands in and drop out. They look a lot more organised today, Northumbria, as Tajuata is over Charlie Parkhouse. He puts his body on the line, does Parkhouse, but he does miss a few tackles. There's Lewis Berg making the tackle there. A lot of players have been sucked into that breakdown, and Loughborough pretty narrow.
Stay onside.
Everyone apart from the try scorer Archie McPherson within 10 metres of the breakdown, as that's another penalty conceded by Northumbria. There have been a few of those.
Black side entry.
There's Wakakoki back on the wing where he belongs and playing some good rugby in these opening 20 minutes. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. I suppose the curse of being a versatile player like him is you don't necessarily have a set role. Put him in the centres, put him at full-back, even at outside half. He's got that little bit of magic that can change a game.
Yeah, Waka's always been good for us wherever you play him. He's a class player. He definitely got a distance in his rugby, I feel. He's very committed to what he does. We played him 10 for a bit last week. He's just more suited to the wing, I feel.
More 8 out!
McPherson marching them forward. Moving well here for Loughborough, 5 metres short.
It's a very well set ball by Loughborough. They get their shape right.
Use it once!
On the ball at the back. So Graham Slaw has it in hand now. I think he's going to have to go here. Oh, what a tackle that is. Textbook perfect. Max Hill. Brought down Brackman, looks to be holding it. The referee does call for a tackle. There's Jared Leeds on the short ball. Massive hit there. Will Finley thought there was a gap. There was no such thing. Northumbria turning up the heat in defence. Sam Grahamslaw backed up by the back row.
No.
Harding. That's popped out. Here is Max Hill. Now they can put the width on it. Loughborough again. Lovely cover tackling. Wakakoki.
Stay onside.
The man making the tackles. Fewer bodies committed to that breakdown.
Move 8.
Austin Wallace in the orange scrum cap. Spencer Waits to the right. Advantage coming here for Loughborough.
7.
Almost a penalty worth giving away there for Northumbria, just to slow things down. Being a converted score behind, this is an interesting... Well, it's not an interesting conversation to be had for Loughborough. I expected they'd go for the sticks there.
Clearly back themselves.
Tighten that up,
more, see what happens.
Clear up bomb, he just chucks his hands in.
One of the... Well, it's a huge credit to the teams in BUCS Super Rugby. As a general rule, if there's a chance to score a try, they try and
numbers, guys.
Make it stick. But in a game that's expected to be as tight as this, if they come away with nothing, is it an opportunity missed? McPherson, clean take again. It's gone to ground legally, says the referee.
Use it!
And now they can put the width on it. Oh, it's a loose pass to Josh Lewis. It's gone backwards. It's been picked up by Austin Wallace on the 22. That's the chance gone for now. Robinson having to take his hands off it this time, but comes in with a counter ruck again. He is having a very exciting 25 minutes as Ollie Robinson.
He's having a good start to the game, I feel. He's playing back to his old ways off his injury. He's probably a bit sore on that shoulder, but he's getting there.
Time off. 6.
It's just our discipline there, letting us down a little bit.
6.
What's the referee
9.
got to say here?
Penalties against you. Okay. That's all right. Regardless or not whether he's on the ball, you must enter the breakdown safely. Okay. The penalty is against for the entry into the ruck. Okay.
Well, that's it. The 3 points have disappeared for Loughborough, and they fluffed their lines once again.
Into the ruck.
Well, Northumbria turned down the kickable penalty. It's a 7-pointer. Loughborough do, and they come away with nothing.
Yes.
2 mini victories there for the home team.
Yeah, it's definitely what we need. We need to get our confidence up in the game. Once that's up, we'll be flying again.
And that stand on the far side, pretty full now. Decent crowd here for a Friday night. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti.
Line.
Under the lights. There's Josh Bragman. Pulling the strings quite well. Must be a nice job as an outside half in a team like this.
Yeah, he does really well for us, Josh. He's got great game management. He controls the boys well.
Oh, that one's gone loose though. Jamie Harding snaffles it at the back. Up the blind side, and there goes the prop forward. Sam Grahamslaw offloads to Aaron Tate, who gets over for Loughborough's second. Top handling from the front rowers. But it's a mistake from Northumbria that's pounced upon, and that seems to be the characteristic of the game.
Yeah, again, that's really good from Loughborough. They always seem to react really well to pressure being placed on them, and there's evidence from this try. Just a few missed tackles there from a few players, and they broke through really well.
Good awareness there from Sam Grahamslaw. That is modern prop forward play, because many moons ago the big lads got their head down and they wouldn't get rid of it for hell or high water. But he did well there, drew in the tackle.
Offside.
It's props like that you want on your team, really, isn't it, these days? Fit, mobile, good hands, good skill set.
I'm struggling to read.
Well,
I'll come to
I'd
you
like
in a
to
minute,
pinpoint the time where props became athletic, because it's certainly been a slow process, but there are some incredibly talented big men in this division. And here is Josh Lewis to square us up.
Could be on the ruck. Right, that's fine. Against purple. Thank you. Right, okay.
And he does so. Splits the uprights, no doubt about that one. Northumbria 14, Loughborough 14.
Yeah, no, that's fine, mate.
Take another look at this. A real burst of pace from Grahamslaw. Aaron Tate.
Just over half hour.
He's got a couple of tries this season. That one of the easier finishes. You can see in there, good communication. Telling the ball carrier exactly where he was. And we're all square. God, that'd be an ugly selfie. Speaking of selfies, let us know where you're watching from this evening. Get in touch at BUCS Super Rugby on both Twitter and Instagram. Great accounts to follow as well. Keep it up to date. Great previews, great content, and of course all the scores, the hits and the misses in this fantastic division as Austin Wallace feels that one. Great line speed from Northumbria. Here's Lewis. Pinkham. First touch for him. Remember, this is an inexperienced centre partnership for Loughborough students. Fergus Geary away playing sevens with England somewhere in the Far East at the moment. As we approach half an hour. Northumbria pinning Loughborough in the 22 here.
That's enough, 8.
Finley. Box kicks to touch. In fact, that's going to be a ball in the car park as well. Oh no. There is a V-shaped roof there, so someone's going to have to get up on a ladder to get that one. Not a job that I fancy. I tell you what, if you're a rugby ball collector, then the place you need to go is Six Ways. because when we do the commentary there, it's from the roof of the main stand, and it's almost like the shape of the Loch Ness Monster as it's coming in and out. And I swear last time I went there must have been 18 or 20 match balls.
It's probably not the best design, is it?
No, not at all.
You don't really think about it, do you, until you lose all your balls.
Yeah. Loughborough nearly stealing that one. The referee are judging that it's gone backwards.
5 boys.
There's the Loughborough bench. It's a much weaker attempt at Movember there. If the wind picks up, that one will blow away.
Yeah, all right.
Let's go! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is that a 2-pint glass, or has he just got really small hands?
Nah, there's 2-pint glasses you can get.
It's gone long, and this time Northumbria, the beneficiaries. Last time Loughborough made a mistake here, they were punished with a fantastic try, and Northumbria putting themselves in a good position here. Yari Fantini nearly away, gets dragged out. 5 metres short, so sharp from that kind of distance. Now they turn the screw. Lewisburg takes it into contact, and Northumbria with the full width of the pitch to work with here. They miss out Rafai. Bloodworth adds his weight.
Rips in the tackle. Onside.
Loughborough have turned this over. No, they've managed to get it back, and George Williams is the latest to take it on for the home team. This time they fluff their lines. That's a couple of opportunities missed for both sides. Jared Leake getting the plaudits there, and apologies to anyone who picked up a little bit of unsavoury language for not quite past the watershed.
Cheers.
And that is a missed touch to Rory Howarth. Dangerous counter runner.
Lost!
Loughborough have turned this over as well, or have they? No. Well, it had been lost.
Unavailable. His body's either side from the clear out. Black ball.
And instead, we packed down for the scrum. I think worrying signs for Loughborough. They're pretty lackadaisical at this breakdown. That's 2 or 3 times in this opening half an hour.
Guys, scrums are miles better.
Yeah,
We've got
a mistake there.
They put the pressure on us. Basically get the discipline right. So with both teams, really.
Seconds! Open up. Let's go, boys.
Northumbria put in, and these are the positions that they really enjoy. Scrum on the 22. Width of the pitch to work with, backs on backs. Josh Bragman waits patiently. Oh, backs of space on the right hand side, the ball just needs to go there. Rory Howarth instead takes it into contact.
7 lost!
Austin Wallace nearly got hands on that, warned by the referee, and he lets it go. There goes the number 8, Ollie Robinson. A few minutes to go before half-time as George Williams crashes it forward. There's a pick-up and a dart. Is it touchdown on the post? Yes, it is! Ed Bloodworth puts Northumbria back into the lead. The bench empties as well. Seems like all the players on the pitch are crowded around that post. And they sweep forward so quickly, swarming on it. And Bloodworth has the initiative to dot it down on the post protector. Northumbria 19, Loughborough 14.
We'll be really happy with that, definitely. To get a reaction from the boys like that, take back the lead. Bubba's doing really well there. Again, had a bit of an injury. It was a bit of a question whether he could play today. But really happy to have him in the team, clearly.
Well, prior to the match, I did say that this team has never produced... Sorry, this match, should I say. As Bragman makes light work of that. Has never produced fewer than 30 points. We're only half an hour in. And that run continues. 10 of the 14 have gone up over 50. Look at that momentum there. Austin Wallace stood no chance. He was going backwards.
Yeah, it's always an exciting game playing Loughborough. Both sides have got some really dangerous players. The back seem to be doing really well, but the forwards are fronting up and clearly scoring good tries as well. It's 2 second rows now.
Well, this is the first time these teams have met this season. Last year, Northumbria did the double, 38-26 up here, and then 41-31 down at Loughborough. So if it continues like this, scorelines are going to be the same. Here's Wakakoki. Oh, he's straight through the try scorer, McPherson. Eventually he's dragged down. Is he isolated? No, they do well to support him. Northumbria straight back at it here. And here comes the width, Galbraith. Could be numbers here. They might not need them. Parkhouse looked like he darted through again. It's just electric every time.
Catterup's fine and it's all backwards.
It's on the ball.
Lost block!
But Josh Lewis has managed to dive on that. A little bit too quick from Northumbria.
Again, it's really well reacted from Loughborough players there.
Tackle!
Put the pressure from on us to them.
Yeah, we know.
They get it from right to left so quickly, Northumbria.
Don't play the 9!
I think some of the Loughborough defenders will be having nightmares about Charlie Parkhouse, the way he goes up and down that wing.
He's a very elusive player, that Parkhouse.
Number 6, play the 9.
Rugby in his brain.
This time Josh Lewis does find a safe touch, having missed on this near side previously.
18. Keep stepping.
And as we count down to half time, remember our clock might be a couple of minutes out because of those stoppages. Matthew would love to go into the sheds level. Yeah, not the cleanest of line-out balls, but secured nonetheless. Very Fantini there. Managed to get on his feet so quickly as Sam Grahamslaw turns it on again. Short ball, is that high? No, says the referee. Jamie Harding nearly held up by Fantini. Grahamslaw again gets through. Spencer finds his centre partner, Brad Pinkham, into the 22 now for Loughborough. Is this an opportunity? Austin Wallace, remember he got ran over for the try. Fantini's got hands on that. Oh, moments away from the turnover there. Max Hill runs into trouble, looks for the offload, doesn't get anywhere near it.
No, it's lost black. Good work,
Good defence here. As Grahamslaw gets the offload away. Good hands here from Loughborough. Josh Lewis, 15 metres out, bang under the sticks as we approach half-time. There's Jared Leet.
You're off the ball, 6.
Northumbria contesting every breakdown and slowing the ball down well as Van der Ploeg goes to ground. Max Hill provides the block, but again Northumbria disruptive. Sam Ripper-Smith takes it standing still. It's dangerous when he moves, but a lot more difficult from a standing start. 5 metres short here for Loughborough again. Northumbria disciplined in defence. Here's Lewis. Spencer. There's Aaron Tate. It's the most disciplined spell of defence here for Northumbria of the match so far. And could it be a turning point as we approach half-time? Jamie Harding. Leet. Fine, another fantastic tackle from him. He must have made 4 or 5 in this period as our clock now goes red. Very close to half-time here. Loughborough being forced backwards. They trail by 7 points as Tate put some dancing footwork on, but again he runs into a black wall. Somebody's going to have to get there for Loughborough at some point. Max Hill. Quick tip to Grahamslaw. There are hands on that.
Thanks, Ollie.
He's coming here for Northumbria. Has Yari Fantini gone high there? A couple of questionable ones in this period of play as Jared Leet goes again. Turns, looks for the offload, doesn't get it, and Northumbria fan out. Here's the try scorer, Archie McPherson. He's going to get his second of the match. Hanging out there on the right wing like Gary Lineker in front of goal, and it's Northumbria 21, Loughborough 19, and a second meat pie for the big second rower.
It's good patience from Loughborough. They didn't try force it. They didn't have their big players out wide in the right places, and they shipped the ball to them, and it's clearly worked twice now. So I think Northumbria need to react to that. Need to work on idea a bit on the outside channels.
Of course, Loughborough will take a lot of confidence from the discipline there, but what about that defensive discipline from Northumbria as well? Not a lot they could have done about that. They were moments away from the turnover a number of times.
Yeah, we're really trying to pressure the breakdown, try to slow their ball. It's never easy. You're always on the borderline playing for turnovers, but
Is that all right?
we've got to do what we've got to do.
Thank you.
Josh Lewis to square us up. This could well be the last play before the referee's whistle goes. Oh, he's pulled that one across the face. So at half-time, it is the narrowest of leads for the home team. What a game here under the lights on a Friday night. Northumbria 21, Loughborough 19. 3 tries apiece, 40 points between the two teams. And Matt Solway, a very, very entertaining opening 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's what we're expecting from it. We always knew it was going to be a high-scoring game with the teams we both got out. As you said, it's always been 30 points or more in these games. It's good rugby to watch, isn't it?
Certainly is. Well, 6 tries in that opening 40 minutes. Let's take a look at some of the key moments. Your team, Northumbria, have been guilty of slow starts throughout this season. They had the dream start here.
Yeah, we've been really working on performances, especially in different sections of the game. The first one has always been slow for us, so it's been a key area for us. No one likes to try and work back from it, but we seem to have stopped that today.
Of course, Ollie Robinson captaining the team, as you mentioned. And that is a captain's performance, isn't it? Exactly what you want. Those clutch moments, you need your key players to deliver.
Yeah, it's great to have players like Ollie Rob back playing for us. He's just finding his feet again. Getting a try on his belt will definitely help his confidence.
Well, this was Loughborough's first response. Lovely work from Josh Lewis to draw the man in, and Archie McPherson licking his lips. Credit to Charlie Parkhouse there. He put his body on the line. Another day, and maybe the big man puts his foot in touch, but I think we're going to get a good angle of it here.
Yeah, he tries his best, but I think the big man gets the better of him.
Yeah, laws of physics, isn't it? Yeah. Big uns and little uns. However, it wasn't long until Charlie Parkhouse certainly made up for that. This was the turnover. I think this has been a characteristic. The difference between Northumbria for the last couple of weeks and Northumbria today has been that fantastic work at the breakdown. Yeah,
again, we've really tried to work on it, get the pressure right, get the turnovers. We know that our counter-attack's one of the best in the league, so once we get the ball in hand from these turnovers, we score tries, as Parkhouse has just done there.
Yeah, great work from Rory Howarth as well. So that was the second score converted by Bragman. And it's just clinical, isn't it? You've alluded to it a few times. You work on these backs moves in training. However, when you do turn the ball over, it's the fact that they can just flick the switch and make it happen so quickly.
Yeah, we've got some really elusive players. Got a lot of pace in the back line. Rory Howarth, Parkhouse, Braggs and Wacker, both real quick boys. When we turn the ball over, some teams can't live with it.
And it was a mistake from Loughborough that let Northumbria in for the second. The tables were turned as Loughborough equalised.
Yeah, it's great counter-attack there from Loughborough. They did really well to spot the gaps in our defence, and fair play to them, they got the try from it.
Yeah, Sam Graham-Slot, he's threatened a couple of times, but you can't keep a good dog down. And Northumbria straight back on the front foot. Interesting that we talk about the backs, but in fact 2 of the 3 tries have come from big men. Ed Bloodworth there, looking up, seeing the space, and pretty much taking Austin Wallace over the line for a ride with him.
Yeah, he's a big rig, Ed. Likes to work hard in the gym. Definitely got a good bench press on him. Yeah, he's been fun to watch.
Yeah, wrong body shape there from Wallace. Not a lot he could do off balance, however, no mistake. And that was the lead. 21-14 that became 21-19. Again, Archie McPherson hanging out wide. A little bit of space on the right-hand side, but the forwards with some good handling. Both teams have shown that they can handle from 1 to 15. It was Jamie Harding with the offload. Archie McPherson over the line, right in front of that Loughborough bench. They've been very sensible and kept those warm coats on because it's pretty chilly here. Thankfully, the conditions have stayed well. That was the one that I thought might have been a high tackle there from Yari Fantini, but the referee in a great position. He was happy to let play continue.
Yeah, when you go for the turnover, he was on the borderline of giving away a penalty, so he's got to take the risks. High risk, high reward. Yari seems to get it right most of the time. It's really good for us this year, especially the breakdowns. Really helped us a lot.
Well, Loughborough have had a few opportunities to kick goals and they have ignored them, so they trail at half time 21-19. This one very much in the balance. We've had some great tries this evening. We've had some great tries throughout the season as well. So let's take a look at some of the best ones that BUCS Super Rugby have put together from last week.
Which isn't easy to do, let me tell you. And this ball is a show and go through the
Of the week, I don't know which sort of try would.
That quote there, if that doesn't make tries of the week, actually came from Max Hill when he did co-commentary at Loughborough a few weeks ago. He features at number 8 today, and he's got a bit of work to do for his team as they trail 21 points to 19. Plenty to talk about after that 40 minutes. And if you would like to join the conversation, then why not join us on BUCS Super Rugby's favourite podcast, The BUCS Stops Here. Myself and Joe Burns, you'll have heard from one or both of us most weeks with BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. And we've got the podcast. It's not just on SoundCloud. You can also join us on Acast. And as of this week, Spotify as well. We're working on iTunes. However, I'll be totally honest with you, I don't know what I'm doing. However, if you would like to join us, it is the BUCS Stops Here. We hear from players, coaches. We have a rundown of every match and, of course, a pretty competitive predictions league as well. So join myself and Burnsy on the BUCS Stops Here. Thankfully, our predictions are slightly better than the tombola. Anyway, we'll be bringing the players back out for the second half very soon. But before that, it is very important that we say thank you to Yoti for their continued support of BUCS Super Rugby.
Because I had already set up on the app about 3 months ago, actually, when it first came to the island.
I really like how simple it was to use.
The kind of convenience we want in this modern age that we live in.
Like, you don't really want to carry your passport around on night out, you're always going to have a phone on you.
The convenience to be able to go up and get my phone and just scan a thing.
It's just easy, you have all your stuff in one place.
And it makes life a lot easier when you're trying to prove your age, and it's quite versatile as well.
For the continued support. 2 matches this week. We were at Headingley for Leeds Beckett versus Exeter on Wednesday. Of course, we're here at Kingston Park this evening. We'll be bringing you at least one match every week of BUCS Super Rugby, but between now and Christmas, we've got 3 live matches remaining. Next week, Joe Burns will talk you through Nottingham Trent versus Durham at Lady Bay. Then it is Cardiff Met versus Cardiff University live from Cardiff Arms Park. and then we finish off on December the 19th. So wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from Hartpury as they face Cardiff University, a Cardiff University team who are much on the mend in terms of getting positive results. But back out come the teams. Loughborough trailing by 2 points are the first out of the sheds. Important chats for them at half-time, I'd imagine, particularly at that breakdown where a little bit of laziness has cost them. Just having a look, see if there are any changes. I can see number 20 there. That's Ollie Kilgallen. Usually plies his trade at 6 or 8. Max Hill, who was over on the far side of the huddle, perhaps he'll go to 6 and Kilgallen will go to 8. There's been a try threat, got 1 against Trent away, 2 against Trent at home, so he'll add a little bit of dynamism to that pack, perhaps with a view of that breakdown that's cost Loughborough. But here come Northumbria, the best first half they've had in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been really good so far. I think the boys will be looking to push on in the second half and bring home the win. We're ahead right now, there's no pressure on us. We just need to stick to our structure and deliver the goods.
Both teams only 1 try away. And in fact, just in the back of your shots there, Josh Rudling and James Gallagher, 2 BUCS Super Rugby co-commentators, perhaps having a chat about what a fantastic job they did a few weeks ago.
Probably how bad I'm doing right now.
No, you're doing great. Keep up the good work.
I'm trying my best.
There's Ed Bloodworth, strapping on both legs. Oh, look at that blue steel. Tell you what, get your votes in. Who's the best looking? Cheesy smiles all round, I tell you what. I've got faces for radio. But we're back and away. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Thrilling first half, and I've got a feeling we might be up for a great second half as well, as Ollie Robinson goes from the base of the ruck and makes 10 metres. Industrious work there from the back rower. A big collision between 2 centres as well. Someone managing to free the hands there as well, and Fantini very dangerous in open play. We didn't see a lot of that in the first half. That one bounces off the chest.
It's not the start we're hoping for, really.
High energy start though.
Yeah, we definitely need to try up our game from that. The boys will try to bring it back, I'm sure.
From a player's perspective, in fact, Darren Fern, he's just walking back up to his position, but as we set the scrum, 21-19 at half-time. Daz, very quickly, because you've got a lot to do. What were your thoughts on that first 40 minutes?
Just still discipline's killing us a little bit. Loughborough a very good team, so they're clinical when they get in the right area, so we've just got to cut all the pens. And I've been pretty impressed so far with the performance. It's just still discipline.
Well, enjoy the second half. Hopefully we'll get to catch up with you at full time. And also Darren Fern, the head coach here at Northumbria. He's Loughborough get on the ball for the first time in a half. Here's Josh Lewis. No space for him there. Dangerous when he can get some, but he's been starved of it so far in this match by Northumbria defence, who, well, as Fern said, they were guilty of ill discipline there. However, they have turned the screw as Parkhouse gets his first touch the second half and skips inside the first tackle. Tends to beat the first man every time. There's Parkhouse wearing number 11, but standing on the right wing. Loose pass there that's gathered well by Galbraith. And Loughborough managed to get hold of that. No, somebody swooped down with a big right hand for Northumbria, and that was an important one as well. That was anyone's ball. Oh, it was Koki. Gets a little bit of luck there. He was standing at outside half. Wasn't the cleanest of kicks, but Josh Lewis spills that one forward. He's just a maverick, isn't he?
He's a really good player, Wacker. He's very elusive. He's got a lot of attributes to his game. Definitely his kicking game's coming along really well recently.
Well, they say a kick's only as good as his chase. I think the chase got him out of jail a little bit there.
Yeah, it's a good outcome from us. Could have easily ended up with the opposition's ball.
BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Under the lights here. It's been everything we expected. A little bit loose from both teams. Both teams have struggled with consistency, not just this evening but throughout the season. Loughborough still looking for their first away win of the year, just the one home defeat for Northumbria as well. So this one all set up. Another solid scrum. Neither have really budged as Parkhouse gathers that one and again beats the first man. And takes the man who's attempting to defend him. It's Lashley. Good quick ball as Bragman finds Galbraith. Sweep forward again. Wakakoki. High tackle. They want to go quickly.
Hey, hey, hey! Yeah, where you going, mate?
Take a look at this. He's let a few slide. Oh God, no question.
12. It's always
no
high.
question there. I think two players tackled him high.
12, high tackle.
Brad Pinkham, the guilty party. It's his first start in BUCS Super Rugby today. He's come up from the BUCS 2s. And what a baptism of fire to try and defend this Northumbria backline. Your first BUCS Super Rugby start.
Yeah, he's done well so far. I think he'll definitely have a few more appearances this year. They've got a lot of players to pick at Loughborough. It's just picking the right ones for the right jobs.
Guys, can we get a bigger gap? Purple stay on the line, black open out, alright? All the way down the line.
Line out bang on the 22. First look at the set piece in the second half. A few have gone long. Not this time. Bordill takes it on his own in the middle.
That's alright.
It's really good carry there from Molly Robb. It's really good to have him back in the team to have that go forwards that she creates. He's a really strong, elusive player.
There's Bordill. Takes it towards the middle of the pitch.
Stay out, 7.
Bragman.
That's good.
Oh, lovely handling there. Is that high? Has to be, surely.
Good call, ref. Good call.
It's had the Matt Solway seal of approval.
He's got it.
2 penalties. Was it just 12 and 30? No, they're high, but they are only penalties, but that's 2 in about a minute, alright?
Just on the wrap around here. Yeah, I don't think they can have any complaints there. James Spencer, should I say. It's the problem when you've got 2 first names. Bragman again ignores the posts, goes for touch.
It was really key for us for early on in the second half. We need to push on and get some points now. We can't win there half and come away with nothing right now. Big set from the boys coming.
Composure required from both sides. First job done, ball taken at the front. We'll try and drive it towards the touchline, and Lashley has to take it to ground. Pick and go from Williams. It's pretty narrow for Northumbria. That's not something we're accustomed to seeing, as Robinson with another carry. There's Rufai. Good line there from Galbraith. Only 2 metres short here for Northumbria early in the second half. Brace. And it's gone forward. First chance of the second half disappears under the pressure of Ollie Kilgallen. Back row substitute on for the second half.
It's a tough one from us, really. We looked to come away with points in their half, but as I said before, Loughborough react really well to pressure. Thrive in these situations and from where they've got the turnover.
No. Game values, mate. Oh, it's still a scrum. Yeah. No, he's just come in and get someone a shove. Just don't need it, let's go, boys.
Jamie, fucking replicate that here, boy.
The referee taking a pretty dim view of a few things here, but not making any silly decisions. He hasn't reversed it, or sorry, should I say changed his decision from a scrum to a penalty. The same way, he's kept his hand in his pocket despite the few high tackles. Oh, and a good shove here from Northumbria. Ollie Kilgallen is at 8. It does take the carry, so Max Hill moves to the blind side flank. Not entirely sure Van der Ploeg was expecting that.
Tackle now, move!
Ran into trouble. There's Tajuata, and takes it standing still.
Off your feet, 8!
Making some form for being off his feet. 8 minutes of the second half gone already.
That's lost 8.
Bit exciting rugby so far. It's definitely what we want to be seeing on the TV.
A bit of volleyball. Which way is that going to bounce? Somehow come back with Northumbria, and they're back into the 22. Oh, monster hit. Graham Saw and Van der Ploeg combining.
Roll 20.
Yeah, Lowe's running from deep. Can really spot those gaps. Bakakoki. Northumbria starting to build. Good period of pressure for them. They're just outside the 22, but plenty of depth to attack from. There's Galbraith trying to free the hands. Has that gone backwards? No, referee says it goes forwards, and again, just one pass too many, but again, it's inventive from Northumbria. They want to free the hands, they want to make it happen.
Yeah, you can see we're trying our best out there, but we're just forcing a bit too much at times. We just need to try and be a bit safer with the ball, a bit smarter with it, don't need to force it so much.
And number...
Few changes for Northumbria. Buffet comes off, he's replaced by Anthony Harrison.
Number 3. Number 1. Right, 1 off, black. Yeah.
George Williams.
Right, can we get
breather
him on
as
two,
well.
If we're going to make these subs. Purple 1.
Jared Lee has a rest for Loughborough as well.
Time's still off because he's down anyway.
He's replaced by Osman Dimen.
Are you alright? Right, we'll carry on then. Not forward in a tackle from Black.
120 kilo prop forward.
Big Tim Gittins there, bashing another ball, very stylish moustache.
Yours and my definitions of stylish are two very different things, Matt. Loughborough with the put in here. Couple of changes at scrum side. Will that make a difference to what direction it moves in? It's been a good scrum from Northumbria so far. Starts to shift again as a little dart there from Will Finley.
Across. There's no advantage across.
Not too sure what that was for, but ref made the final call.
Dark arts of the scrum. We're better off staying out of it, to be honest. Half an hour to go. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Scoreless so far in the second half after 3 tries apiece in the first.
End of the line, Black. 1 drive straight, please.
Referee not happy with the angles over there on the far side. And Loughborough back into Northumbria half. This has been a rare sight thus far in this second stanza.
Move! Out 5! 2 out!
After that initial march forward, the more defence for Northumbria, it's been a lot better.
Balls available.
Loughborough's maul seems to be a real weapon for them at the moment. They've got a lot of go forward from it. They've been using it really effectively.
Slow ball. Osman Demon gets his first touch. Can't make any metres and no real options for Josh Lewis, and he's knocked that one off. Look for a second like Yari Fantini was on the shoulder and ready to go. Now this is where Northumbria are at their most dangerous. Here's Lewis Berg, gets the offload away, and there's the kick for the corner. It's going to be a foot race. It's not for the corner, it's for the middle. Needs to be gathered. It's gathered, and Northumbria are in under the sticks. Fantastic vision from the kick. Don't think the referee's awarded it just yet. Is he going to check for offside? Let's have a listen to what he's got to say.
So we'll go back. Yes, we'll go back to the penalty. No try, 9's offside.
Well, James Elliott adjudged to be offside. But have another look at this kick. Wakakoki, we talk about him being a maverick, but just from that angle there, I think we can see that James Elliott was offside.
I think it's a really harsh call from the ref there, but what can you do, eh?
Look where he stood. That's not a harsh call at all.
What you're about? Perfectly onside.
Black 9.
Okay.
Offside.
We will have to check the eyes of co-commentators in the future. And the score remains Northumbria 21, Loughborough 19. But a real warning sign there.
Should get a TMO going for this.
Well, there's no need when he's that offside.
Still don't see it personally.
It's all right.
Northumbria 21, Loughborough 19. Again, devastating counter-attack from Northumbria. Fantastic vision from Wakakoki. Loughborough let off the hook on this occasion. But could that spark this second half into life? This time Loughborough put boot to ball, but they've only put that as far as Rory Howarth. As Wakakoki again takes a little look at. Sees that there's no right winger at home and nurses that. Spencer chases back. More comfortable at full-back, Spencer, so perhaps an opportunity for him to run from deep on this occasion. Ramslaw. Oh, monster hit there off Josh Lewis. No room at the inn. Oh, Aaron Tate took his eye off the ball. That's a few times Loughborough have done that in the second half. Play! And quickly taken by Northumbria. Bragman was there. Not even entirely sure the rest of the team knew what was coming.
It's the quick style of rugby we try to play. We work on in training to try to keep the opposition on their feet. Seems to work pretty well for us.
Lewis Berg doing the work at the ruck there as Ollie Robinson carries it over the halfway line.
You've got to work harder.
Switch of play again, nobody at home. Tate having to chase backwards. No real pace on the chase, but three men there, and is that offside? Oh, they've got away with one there perhaps. Thought Tate might have run straight into Lewis. But more intelligent play from Northumbria. Twice they've kicked for the corners, seeing that there's no winger at home. Loughborough back in their own 22. 15 minutes gone in the second half. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti, and a terrible box kick. Didn't wrap the foot around that at all. And Loughborough looking a bit unsettled at the moment. Well, Will Findlay, I think his reaction tells you everything there.
It's just tying the shoelace. Hang on.
The pace of this Northumbria attack starting to tell.
Yeah, this is a really good position for us. It's where we want to be playing our best style of rugby. In the half, get the pressure on them, take it off us. Again, hopefully we look to come away with points from this.
It's the longest period of time we've gone without a score in the match so far. And the Loughborough scored right on the brink of half-time. Since then, 15 minutes of nothing. Bragman. Berg.
Oliver again, really good play.
No, it's gone forward. Before that, wonderful stuff.
No hands!
Didn't shout that he was playing advantage there. Again, it's just frantic stuff from Northumbria. It must be so difficult to defend. And then they don't commit at the breakdown, making Loughborough work hard to get rid. Oh, another huge tackle.
He's gone beyond the horizontal. It's only a penalty.
Some massive hits from Northumbria here. This one penalised. Let's see how guilty he was. No, just above the horizontal. Unlucky there from Galbraith. Technically, a very good tackle. Loughborough able to relieve the pressure, and they needed to, because Northumbria really turning the screw in defence as Ollie Robinson's getting a bit of medical attention. You mentioned he was carrying an injury coming into this one.
Yeah, well, he's recently had his shoulder operation. He's just returning from that, and I think coming back into the physicality of it all, he got a bit of a dead leg last week or so. He seems to have rehabbed pretty well there. Well, back pretty fit.
Guys, let's go.
Well, the medical staff are nearly as busy as the players. They go straight from Robinson to Williams.
Yeah, we've got a really good support team at Northumbria. They're really good to us, treat us really well.
Guys, water off, let's go.
Keep us fit and ticking over.
It's a hectic schedule,
Your 18's on the mark.
It's not like the old days where if you played in National North or National South, you'd have a couple of easy weeks. It's a relentless fixture every Wednesday or Friday for all of these players.
Yeah, there's no easy games in this league. If you don't turn up on the day, then your team will lose. Simple as that. There was evidence last week when we played Cardiff. They turned up, we didn't.
A few of the spectators braving the cold. Managed to have found the WAGS section there.
A few pengtings in the crowd.
Goodness me.
Do you know what pengting means?
Let's go.
I hang around with youngsters. Do you know what? I'll leave that there. Yes, I do. Everyone very welcome here, and most of the BUCS Super Rugby matches up and down the country, free entry as well, so support your local team.
Fine.
I see some brilliant rugby.
Set.
Want to
know about fixtures and kick-off times. The BUCS Super Rugby website keeps them all up to date, even when there are last-minute changes, as Northumbria start to attack once again. Here's Howarth. Parkhouse look for the kick and then steps inside, gets stood up this time.
Lost 12!
Few of the backs having to do some work at the breakdown there. There's a missed tackle, allowing Northumbria back into the 22.
Thanks, Purple.
Kilgallen just dropping out of that one. Bragman again, big miss pass, and Northumbria through Lewis Berg. Just steps on the gas to get over that gain line, and now they've got some width. Wakakoki, Howarth, Parkhouse drops it.
Advantage Purple!
Just at the key moment there for Parkhouse. A few mistakes at the moment, just letting Loughborough off the hook in key areas.
Stay there.
But Northumbria building nicely into this second half, although they've not been able to add to their total. Still 21-10 as we move into the last quarter, approaching an hour gone. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti.
Advantage over.
Loughborough have made a change at scrum half. Will Lane has come on for the last 20 minutes. Wakakoki gets through the first tackle, gets the offload away, finds Galbraith. Frees the hands once again.
Lost Purple.
Which way's this come down? Towards the line here, or has that been ripped in the tackle? Yes, it has.
Ball's available, no hands.
That's all, he can't look because he sees another opportunity go begging for Northumbria. And now Loughborough thinking about running it from inside their own 22. Is this wise or backdoor offload? Finds Ollie Kilgallen, who's up to the 22 as the referee calls advantage over.
Just getting our own mistakes. They've let them out of their own half. Now they'll be attacking us.
Oh, and then they just throw it forward. Well, if discipline's going to win this game, then we're heading for a draw, because both teams have lost their heads a little bit in the last few minutes.
When you play such an excited round of rugby, it's kind of hard to get it right every time. Again, as I said before, high risk, high reward.
The key thing psychologically, though, is when you do make those mistakes, not to dwell on them.
Yeah, so you need to forget about it, on to the next phase. If you dwell on it, it's just going to ruin your game, make you put it down on your team.
Another scrum in a good position here, though, for Northumbria. It's the width that they try and create, and they've got it ready-made here. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Northumbria put in, bang in between the 22 and the 10-metre line. And those outside backs will be licking their lips at this opportunity.
We'd hope so anyway. Maybe Parkhouse can get his hands together, catch a few balls and get under the sticks for us.
And if you just tuned in, 3 tries apiece in the first half. Northumbria have never trailed in this match, but Loughborough have never been more than 1 score behind. And it was just the conversion, the last act of the half, missed by Josh Lewis, that separates the two teams. Northumbria have been over the whitewash once, but it was ruled out for offside. Lewis Berg takes that one in. Here's Bragman. Finds Howarth. Again, looks to put that step on, gets over the gain line, and Fantini secures the ball. There's Robinson back on his feet after getting that little bit of medical attention. Bragman. He's at brace. Jumped into that one and thought for a second the referee had his arm out for advantage there, but didn't hear anything. It's Fantini. Oh, big handoff and frees the hands, but again in almost exactly the same spot as Charlie Parkhouse knocked on no more than a few minutes ago. Ollie Robinson, a back rower, starting a fight with an outside half. What's the game come to?
A few fisticuffs, nothing wrong with that. Boys are up for it.
Well, I think both teams realise they're in a match here, and that's sometimes where heads start to go. I think the referees reverse the decision here. Is this a penalty to Northumbria? What's he got to say? Oh, and with that we've lost the referees, Mike. Either way, he's got Robinson and Hill in. What a time to lose the refs, Mike. But he has gone back just for the knock-on. He hasn't reversed the decision. Well, Loughborough with another chance to escape. In terms of territory, though, Northumbria have had the lion's share in this second half. Scoreboard just about on their side, but they'd love another converted try to give themselves a bit of breathing space.
Yeah, we try to keep the pressure in their half as much as possible. Obviously, we don't want to play in our own half, but then if we are in it, we back ourselves to get count and get out of the sticky situations we normally get in.
Kilgallen picks and goes.
Loughborough clearly trying to back themselves to carry it out.
Well, this is something that we used to see in Northumbria do. Will Lane takes his time. It's the box kick, but only as far as Parkhouse needs a good chase.
It's a good kick chase from Loughborough there. They've already shut down our options, so fair play to them.
But Parkhouse makes 15 good metres there. Bragman. It's Wakakoki. Oh, look at this turn of pace from Berg. Picked up by James Spencer. Again, just one offload too many. First from Northumbria and then from Loughborough. They just cannot get out of their half. Keep your eye on James Spencer here, as he just banged his head on the advertising hoardings as he's been thrown into touch. There he goes. Oh, not quite. Stay down for a little bit longer. Turns out he just got slammed to the floor. Tajuata there, look of frustration from him. He's not been particularly active in this one, has Tajuata. Final 15 minutes, it's getting tense.
Bold kick there from the Loughborough players.
Not sure whether he kicked that because he just knocked it on.
Couldn't tell you personally.
But here come Loughborough now, perhaps with a chance to counter-attack. Oh, massive shoulder from Lewis Berg. Physicality from the 13. Oh, Loughborough with their hands on the ball for the first time in quite some time. Here's Sam Grahamslaw. Loves a carry in the middle of the park. Atta thinks about picking and going himself. Check back in instead from Jamie Harding, the hooker. Loughborough in the Northumbria half for the first time in quite some time. That's been turned over though, and legally no. Referee a little bit slow to react to that one.
Good pressure on Mike Newstead there. One of his first touches on the ball. He's really got involved. He's a bit of a shoulder injury this season. It's just nice to see him back playing really well.
Loughborough penalty as Jamie Harding receives some medical attention. This is your 10-minute, well, 9-minute warning, by the way, Matt. On 75 minutes, you will be choosing the Yoti man of the match. And in a real war of attrition like this, I do not envy your selection one bit.
It's really hard to pick right now. There's players who are playing really well, like Oliver Robinson, the Loughborough 4, too sure of his name.
Archie McPherson got a couple of tries.
Yeah, he's been playing really well. Parkhouse has some brilliant moments. Be hard to pick.
Well, I'm going to have to push you for a decision when the clock gets to 75, although if it's in the balance, you might get 2 minutes grace. Either way.
Have a little think and let you know.
Well, Loughborough bringing the changes here. 3 replacements coming onto the field of play. One of the men taking a breather is Jamie Harding. It's been a good shift from him at hooker. Dan Cuthbert now on the park, as is Stefan Younghusband. And Adrian van der Ploeg is taking a breather as well. Not the most confident of touch finders there from Josh Lewis. As we can see from the assistant referee's flag that the wind is just starting to pick up here now. The rain has stayed off, thankfully, for all of the players involved, but Loughborough now playing into the breeze for the remaining 14 minutes or so. That's the sound of stunned silence now. Get so used to hearing the referees, communicated so well with the players throughout the game.
It's a big effort here from the Polly boys. Again, Loughborough haven't been in our half very much, so we try to keep them out here.
Whole new front row for Loughborough. Sam Garvey's on as well. But Archie McPherson, you mentioned him as having a strong game. Look at this counter ruck from Northumbria though.
Yeah, we work really hard on our more D at the moment, so it's nice to see that working out well on the pitch.
Counter more, should I say, not ruck. Come on, Dave. And Pinkham there with the carry. Here's Stefan Younghusband, replacement prop. First touch for him. Oh, Fantini's got hands on that. Could be trouble here. Yes, there is.
Great work from Yari there. Really relieving the pressure of us.
Sam Garvey, fresh onto the pitch. Just a little bit too slow in support. In fact, he tripped over Younghusband, so Osman Demon was isolated. 2 front rowers not been on the pitch for too long, costing their team some territory there.
Class turnover there from Yari. It's a really good outcome as well. Got a good field position now, and hopefully put some more pressure back on Loughborough.
Well, that was Loughborough's best period of the second half so far, and they didn't threaten the Northumbria 22 at all. Unbelievably, still scoreless in this second half. 28 minutes.
It's been plenty of action, but no one seems to have converted, unfortunately. Hopefully see some more in the last 10.
Both teams, remember, just 1 score away from that bonus point. A bonus point victory would take either to within 1 point of Durham. Currently sit in 5th position. Loughborough 6th, Northumbria 7th as it stands. If the match finishes, Northumbria will go above them onto 25 points in the BUCS Super Rugby table. Durham currently on 27. Again, no winger at home, so just dabbed into the 22. Will Lane, the replacement scrum half, tracks back. Finds Sam Roberts, that one's gone forward. And another opportunity here for Northumbria. This is where they're dangerous. Second rower George Bordell putting some footwork on there. It's relatively effective, but I'm not sure I want to watch that gallop back. Seems to be so many numbers here for Northumbria if they can get it there. Timothy Gittins into the 22. Robinson. It's Bragman. Isaac Brace. It's been a big shift from him in the front row.
Yeah, Isaac the fresher who's come through the system. He's been playing really well this season. He's got a start today, really well deserved. Big boy, lots of good things to come from him.
There's a player down here for Northumbria, and the play just going towards him, so the referee might bring this one to a halt temporarily. Short ball from Bragman, and he disappears to the blind side as we approach the final 10 minutes. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Fantini in at scrum half. It's Michael Newstead. Brace does not look comfortable. down there as Wakakoki gets tackled just outside the 22.
Another good carry from Waka there. I think he's had a really good game so far.
Oh, Fantini with the line, one man to beat. Oh, and the fullback makes the tackle. What an important tackle it was as well from Sam Roberts. It's been spilled forward too, and another chance goes begging for Northumbria. But Yari Fantini, a try threat every week for Northumbria, looked for all the world like he was going to add to his total.
It's really dangerous play from Yari there. His game's really come along really well. As you see here, hits the line really late, takes other players. He's scanning, you can see.
Good handoff there. It was just Sam Roberts left.
And then someone kicked it forwards. I think that's Rui Howarth kicking it forwards there.
Do you know what? I think a knock-on is actually quite a tough call there. It's come off the foot. The referee was right next to it.
So Isaac Brace still down, unfortunately. Hopefully nothing serious.
Yeah, well, since that carry, no sooner had we complimented him on the shift that he's put in that he's managed to injure himself. But as you say, fingers crossed, he'll be back fighting fit to finish this one off. Half an hour of no scores between Northumbria and Loughborough.
Funny how we're saying about such a high-scoring game, and second half's been pretty dead.
It's been quite the battle. Stayed dry. Let's talk about the fixtures coming up between now and Christmas for both teams, starting with Northumbria, of course, hosting Loughborough today. Journey down to Cardiff next week, King Coyd. We say it all the time, but it's a tough old place to go and a long journey for you boys.
Yeah, it's always a long one down to Cardiff Met. They've got a really good fan base there. It's not the nicest place to go, but got to get the job done. I'm sure the boys will.
Really good is a very generous way of putting it in terms of their fan base. Give them some credit, they make some noise. I wouldn't like to be the winger who's closest to the supporters from the opposing team, that's all I'll say.
Yes, it's never nice for that player, but someone's got to do it.
Of course. It's another thing that makes the league as good as it is, as Kilgallen runs straight at Bragman, and Fantini's there sniffing around again. A couple of minutes away from your man of the match call. That's Solway. Oh, the kick has gone out on the full. Again, if you did pick up some coarse language on the microphone, apologies. Josh Lewis owes some apologies to his teammates because he's put the right boot through that and invited the pressure straight back on Loughborough students. Line out to Northumbria, 20 metres from the try line. Big chance. Northumbria attacking the line. The centres are threatened to do this the whole time. They're over the line. Is that the ball game? Oh, Northumbria make the chance stick. Loughborough could not clear the line. And Lewis Berg could have won it for the home team. They've been desperate for a victory. Back-to-back defeats. And Lewis Berg.
Great work from Lewis there. Really worked hard on the tackle, leg drive.
Well, he's got through 4, 5. Tajuata had 2 bites at the cherry there. Lewis Berg.
He's a strong old boy, that Lewis Berg. Works hard in the gym. He's definitely one of the strongest boys we've got on the team. Loves a good back squat. Rubbish bench though. And pull-ups.
5 defenders beaten. And this is a huge kick, because this puts Northumbria beyond a converted score ahead. Hushed silence here as Bragman. Oh, he's drawn that one in from a long way out. What a strike from Bragman, back in the 10 jersey. Well, let's take a look at this. All from that mistake. Josh Lewis kicked the ball out on the full, gifted the initiative to Northumbria. They've had plenty of opportunities, and it took a moment of individual brilliance here. Lewis Berg, so much work to do. Surely not even he was thinking he was going to score from there.
It's a great side from Ollie Robinson as well there. Breaks off the back of the maul. I mean, I could have carried it in, but had the good sight to pass it to Berg on the hard line.
Well, all the talk has been about Josh Hodge and his kicking game, but Bragman 4 from 4.
It takes his pressure off us a little bit, but can't forget, can't switch off in these situations. Games have everything to play for.
And that is the bonus point for Northumbria as well.
Get another good carry from Ollie Rob there.
In a couple of minutes' time, perhaps when the ball goes dead next. Oh, it could go dead for another try here as Northumbria smash through the line again. George Williams playing with their tails up is one of the finest sights in BUCS Super Rugby. Bragman, short ball to Ollie Robinson, loses the collision this time. That's been a rarity. But he's had a great 75 minutes. Could he be in contention for the Yoti man of the match? Yari Fantini, Howarth. Here's Galbraith. Gets the offload away round the outside.
Class from Raka there, really using his skill set to his benefit.
Plenty of width here. Another score for Northumbria, and it really would be curtains for Loughborough. Fantini.
Good clear out from Isaac there, really using his physicality and strength to his use. Tim Gittins dancing around well.
Come on as a second half substitute, not had a great deal to do so far. Here's Bragman. Does well to stay in play over on the far side. 2 knock-ons, so we'll go for a scrum down. Time for you, Matt Solway, to award your Yoti man of the match. Who's impressed you this evening?
It's been hard to choose, to be honest. There's been a lot of really good players out there. It's been a really close game. Again, second half hasn't been many tries winning, but there's been really good things from Loughborough 4, Archie something.
McPherson.
Yeah, 2 tries for him. He's been really elusive. Charlie Parkhouse had a really good game, but it has to be for me Oliver Robinson, Northumbria number 8. He's been outstanding performance today. Coming back from injury, he's been pretty good.
Well, it's exactly what you want from a number 8, exactly what you want from a captain as well. He opened the scoring, got the monkey off the back with regards to the slow start, and he's carried and tackled and really led from the front. Congratulations, Ollie Robinson, Northumbria captain and today's Yoti man of the match. Time running out here for Loughborough, and they've been their own worst enemy in the second half.
Yeah, I think we try to keep the pressure on them again. We've spent the whole time in their half, pretty much when they have been in our half. We've been able to get a turnover and get out of it. Credit to them, they've really stuck in the fight. We haven't pulled away at all. It's been a really close game. Their defense has been really good. Their attack's been very elusive. It hasn't been one-sided at all.
Final phase is this one, BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Loughborough looking for their 3rd victory in a row. They've not won 3 in a row since February 2017 in the league. Inconsistency has been a killer for them. Still looking for their first away win as well. There's Josh Lewis. He's a fresher outside half. He's had some incredible performances this season. However, it was the mistake, the kick out on the full, that led to that incredible individual effort by Lewis Berg. Powerhouse ball carrying centre.
He's a strong boy, that Lewis. He, as I said, works hard in the gym. It's a bit of a blunt instrument, but that's what you need in your team. It's a big centre who hit hard lines.
Also a little bit of belief to keep going, because when he's taken it on the short ball here, still so much to do. Because what's happened, he's got straight through Max Hill there, Tajuata.
Yeah, he's been working on his footwork as well. You can see that there. He gives a little side step, works on his leg drive, manages to break through the tackle.
I think Loughborough will watch that one back, and there's a few few boys will realise that they got their tackle technique wrong there. Talk about blunt instrument, it looks a long way round him.
He's a wide boy, he's probably one of the biggest benches in the team. Could deadlift a lot more than me, I'll tell you that.
One of the biggest benches and one of the worst moustaches. Well, of course, so many teams across the league have raised great money for Movember. And speaking of fundraising, Hartpury, they did their head shave for Rhys Oakley, who was the captain of Hartpury RFC in the championship, and he was unfortunately diagnosed with cancer earlier in the year. They've closed fundraising on that now, managed to raise over £11,000, so a fantastic effort from the Hartpury boys. If the scores stay as they are, so it's a bonus point victory for Northumbria, and that puts them right back in contention for the top 5, and only a bonus point win away from Hartpury and Cardiff Met, with Cardiff Met to play next week. Crazy to think that from starting the day in 7th place, you could go to King Coyd next week and finish the week in 3rd. It's a mad league.
Yeah, it'll be really big week for us going down to Cardiff Met. Again, as we said before, it's a hard place to go to, but we need to deliver the goods on that game. We need to go into the Christmas, after the Christmas period, with as much points as possible.
Well, speaking of that crazy league, let's have a look at this. I got my abacus, my pen and paper out a little bit earlier, and we have now completed the circle. When Cardiff got that victory over Northumbria, sorry to bring it up again, Matt, that now means that everyone has beaten everyone in the league. Cardiff victorious over Northumbria, who've already beaten Cardiff Met up here a little bit earlier in the season. Cardiff Met got one over on Bath, who beat Nottingham Trent, who beat Loughborough in that thriller in match week 1. Loughborough, was it last week? No, the week before, defeated Leeds Beckett. What a game that was. And Leeds Beckett, of course, were the first team to ever go back-to-back at Hartpury in the BUCS Super Rugby era. Hartpury then defeated Durham, who defeated Exeter. Exeter, of course, looking very strong at the top of the table at the moment, and Exeter overcame Cardiff University. So after 8 rounds of the competition, everyone has beaten everyone. If you weren't already sold on BUCS Super Rugby, then that stat should certainly sell you.
Just goes to show that it doesn't matter what team you are, as long as you turn up on the day, you can really deliver the goods. The league's very fluid. It's never set who's going to win, who's going to get the goods.
So in terms of your personal rugby, you injured yourself playing sevens, you silly sausage. How much longer do you think you've got out? No point rushing back, but how's the recovery going?
Yeah, recovery's going really well. So as I said, I'm 3 months down from my ACL reconstruction. Got 6 more months to go. I'll probably miss the BUCS season by about 2 weeks or so I won't be targeting this year. I'll be back in the 19-20 season to really push on my places.
This is round 10. Round 11 start, well, in fact, all 5 fixtures are on Wednesday the 5th of February. Exeter against Hartpury. What a game that promises to be. First against second, then at Lady Bay, Nottingham Trent host Durham. That is also very exciting indeed. Trent struggling on their travels, but at home they're a completely different proposition. Then Cardiff versus Leeds Beckett, 10th versus 9th, and the boys at Llanrumney will really fancy that one, but never ever write off Leeds Beckett. With the talent they've got in that team, they are going to cause some upsets this season. It is Cardiff Met versus Northumbria. Northumbria looking like they're going to get the bonus point victory here, so they'll go to King Coyd buoyed with confidence. And then Loughborough, who've got some soul searching to do after a very difficult second half here, host 4th place Bath, who of course defeated Hartpury at Gilman's on Wednesday. So anything and everything to play for, and some really eye-catching fixtures there. Other than the obvious, which ones of those were you looking forward to, Matt?
Other than Nottingham Trent Durham game could be really big. Nottingham Trent seem to be in good form at the moment, and Durham, depending on who they bring to the game, could be an exciting one to watch.
Yeah, 5 fantastic fixtures. Exeter versus Hartpury. I mean, Exeter have looked pretty flawless for the last couple of weeks. If you didn't watch the live game, it's available on all of the BUCS social media to watch in full. They just suffocate and strangle teams. We've seen Leeds Beckett dominate. We saw them go to Loughborough and play rugby from all over the park, but Exeter so organised from 1 to 15. Beckett just could not get a foothold in the game. And just a reminder that we've got 3 live matches before Christmas. There'll then be a Christmas break until the end of January. Of course, with such a high standard of rugby, we forget that all of these players are students. They've got exams post-Christmas. But on Wednesday the 5th, we will be at Nottingham Trent, Lady Bay for Trent versus Durham. Then it is the Cardiff derby live from Cardiff Arms Park. Cardiff Met against Cardiff University. And then we're back at the Gilmans on December the 19th. Slightly earlier kickoff, 6:30, so the show will be live from 6:15. Hartpury versus Cardiff University. Well, the last time Cardiff met Cardiff University was at Cardiff Arms Park. What an opportunity for those boys to turn out at one of the great grounds in world rugby, and Cardiff Met have done a really good job of producing video content this year. Their support between the media students and the rugby club has been fantastic. Let's take a look at what happened last time Cardiff Met at the Arms Park. Joyous scenes there for the Archers as they were victorious in the first ever Cardiff derby. BUCS Super Rugby presented by Yoti. Cardiff, of course, the new boys in the league. They've struggled a little bit, but really have found form. The previous season it was Trent, and before that, believe it or not, it was Northumbria who really struggled at the top level. But just watching the rugby that you play, the results that you get and the excitement that people have watching you just shows that when you stick at it at this level, when you have a format, a game plan, it really